I mean, the last time, I think it was, that we casted Leviatan was that absurd game at Copenhagen where Melsa TP'd the spike into heaven.
That was ridiculous.
And King had to jump up to retrieve it. I mean, that was absurd, an OT win over XZ. Since then, they've beaten Team Liquid and Paper Rex here. Leviatan are so good at this map, and it's one where Loud really struggle. Loud are going to start on the defense, right? Loud are still good on this side, but they're not that great. They still only win about 50% of their rounds. Normally their defense stats are like 60, 70% win rate on defense. So this is not a map that really suits Loud. And if they're able to take it away, I think it'll speak more to the mental disadvantage of Leviatan. Loud are going to try and start things up here with a push down mid.
Such an aggressive play down mid, but there's a counter flash off the rip. Pushes back all of that aggression, tempers it for but a moment.
And this is part of the reason. This is part of the reason why King, the IGL for Leviatan, was saying sometimes the pistol rounds could be a bit random. Not because the guns themselves are random, but you pick a strat and you just hope that your opponent hasn't picked one that counters you. But the adaptation here is looking pretty good. Now they know where Aspas is playing.
Unless it's still disrespecting it, Wants to just hold down that angle. Rendezvous back up to heaven. He had, I believe that was a sheriff in his hands. King is just praying with the spam. Man's just firing away inside the smokes and still being rewarded for it. Maybe that was what he was talking about with the random pistol rounds, I don't know.
I can tell you though, however they're working, Leviatan are getting the job done.
Yeah, and this setup as well that they've got for this retake, if it even goes in, I think at this first sign of utility, probably this haunt, you're going to see this paranoia sweep across. Nade, there's the haunt.
They actually
paranoia.
dodged it, I think.
Yeah, they did. Move away from it for but a moment. Still struggling to get into the site though, especially with the smoke in their way. And a bit of spam will do it. Time running far too low. That's not enough to work with.
And as the desk was pointing out, King on Viper was able to put up 26 kills on map 1. King on Raze now is looking like he's in the same kind of form, hasn't been rattled in the slightest, and is determined to get the win here. And that's what we were talking about. Leviatan very good on this map. They are absolutely favored to win here.
Yeah.
Which is why we were talking about it being so important that Loud got that comeback working in Icebox. Leviatan win another pistol. That is 10 out of 11 pistol rounds at Champs. They're just so good. But they are walking into a stack here.
Oh,
Gamble
boy.
stack from Loud that's picked so perfect.
This could just be monstrous right now, and Loud want to take the fight straight to them. Lose that cool a little bit, I think, as well, when they were opting to try and take this fight, but eventually backing away now. Leviatan wanting to try and contend and go toe-to-toe with that one, but it's an instant wraparound. It feels like the Loud players are chasing them down with the rotation. They're going to be meeting them head on. Shots just whiffing and going wide, though.
Does Aspas have the correct read? And now it just comes down to the gut feeling from all of these players.
Shy's low enough. They're running right into him. He can hear the footsteps. Close into the corner. Aspas has to be cleared. It's a half clear in the process, but there we have it. And just eventually secures it, doesn't he?
Just gutting for Aspas there, because Leviatan played it perfectly. The player with weak health going through first and allowing Melsa with almost full HP to get the trade kill. But for a moment there, every Leviatan fan had their heart in their mouth. Oh, a right click doing so much damage. It's just a wry smile on the face of Sadak. A bit more of an extreme reaction from the coach. But Loud certainly had their chances, and they've done some serious damage to the Leviatan economy. This is not going to be a potent bonus.
Leviatan have still been dangerous when they've got the weaker weaponry. On the half buys, we were talking about the stats prior. I'm not going to bore you with the numbers, but you just
not so much in this game yet.
Yeah, it hasn't really reared its head as much, has it?
Loud have actually been pretty good at shutting them down, and there's an awesome start. That's a very deep angle. Long sight line favoring the Phantom there.
Spines being taking place all over the place. Trademark giving information, the knowledge that Aspas can swing onto that one, and that's the prime game in Flawless, so losing any players.
And I really do have to credit Loud. Their anti-ecos so far have been pretty clean.
Yeah, nice.
And that was something that was totally tripping Liquid and Paper X up. even Loud actually in the group stage were losing a quarter of their anti-ecos, which is an absurdly large amount. But in this match so far, they have been clean and it's been making all the difference. Made that comeback possible on map 1. Taco's going to pick up the AWP here to attack.
It's going to be a seized nade outside the box, but I don't think there's going to be any players to meet it. The fault line as well, yeah. No presence there.
Taco deleted, trying to contest A long.
Go on, Malzahn is back though. Leviatan players happy not to take this fight, especially with the aftershock. That's a lot of damage being done. Sadak, 2 bullets all it takes, I guess. Quick dink and a body shot.
In the midst of all of this, there was a battle happening around long.
Pancada's reclearing as
Yeah,
well.
Pancada is reclearing this, and he's got himself tucked up into a gorgeous spot. Looking towards long, though, because he is slightly cautious that King could have already gone in that direction. But he's got the right read and a gorgeous angle.
It's beautiful. Backs away, teleport to respect it. This fight's taking place all over the bloody shop.
Every time there's a kill in this round.
Back and forth, man! What are we watching?
And Pancada's left in the clutch. They know where he is, up in A lobby, and so this is going to be a difficult one.
Yeah, should be a free side for them. Still using a bit of utility there, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think it was possible for Pancada to be in spawn that quickly, but they were surprised by Aspas in the second round, so giving a lot of credit there to the Loud read.
Surely the plan isn't to just spam post-plant from C here.
I hate
Pancada's got smokes, man.
I hate these post-plants, Bren.
This could just be absolutely boomed.
They have paranoia to work with. Although they use it instantly without even hearing anything from Pancada.
No knowledge queue. Pancada's just going to contact up. The jiggle peek and the swing is there from adverse. I mean, many ways to play that one. Pancada decided to take the fight to them.
Perhaps Leviatan getting away with that one a little.
Yeah.
But that's a big round for Leviatan to win. And a chaotic one at that. While there was a fight in A lobby, Meltzer picked up that kill. While there was distraction going on, Sassy tried to push and got caught. Just so many fights happening all across the map as these players try to react to each other.
It's looking like an aim labs routine for the observers.
Yeah,
like
it is.
They're desperately trying to find each duel that's taking place.
But a lot of it being that Loud are getting very active on the defense side. And that's a little unusual with this comp, and unusual for the way that Loud play their defenses. That's a wall bang.
Going to be hitting, yeah. Wall bang onto the shoulder of Melzer, but a double satchel play with a showstopper, and the targets are found. All of them low enough. I believe that was just from the Nightfall as well, causing that decay damage, and Pancada has to be respecting it. Double TP to safety.
Aspas has a showstopper of his own on the retake here. And Leviatan look like they want to play fairly heavily down C long again. Which is where Aspas and Sassy are heading.
Yeah, in fact, a lot of the teammates are. Horns over the top, now the showstopper. Shot rassled off. Horn is going to be connecting the Rolling Thunder though, and Reversal just can't quite land the shots. Leviatan not scared though, are they? Not scared in the slightest, but Pancada's smoked himself off now and sticking to the fuse.
No,
where's
please.
the spam? Not like this, he's 16, how? You can't get away with it! But a full stick from Pancada, and for whatever reason, the noise cue going missing, the spike just not being pinged out. I don't know what occurred.
Ren, I gotta say again, I hate these post-plant setups. I know that the distraction was what pulled so many people away, and I think that aspect of the game plan was lovely. But playing 3 of your players down C long in that kind of instance, I suppose you give Leviatan a bit of a pass. They were worried about the showstopper coming through perhaps and thought they should all play off site. But that is such an unreliable way of playing the Haven C post plant, and it gets me every time, Brent. It gets me every time.
It's brutal. You think they would have learned?
The crazy thing, though, is that Loud's economy is still in the dirt, so they're forced to take an eco round after getting the stick. So despite the fact that Loud have brought this back to 2-3, their economy is still in shambles.
This is a 5-player push. I don't know how many noise cues are coming through there, but they're going to hit that flash. And King is watching this angle, just holding for it, making sure that not too much damage can be done for them. Reset, flick of the wrist, dodges it all down, and the ace might have been stolen, but he's going to be happy with that, I think. No casualties in the mix.
And in the midst of all of that, you know, King just mopping up 4 out of 5 of the kills, it might have, You might not have realized how great that setup was. King is underneath and Shy is on top of him there. So these players are facing a double stack at 2 elevations. There is zero chance. Zero chance. Yeah. And King looks annoyed there that you stole his ace.
Yeah.
My highlight clip.
But that has absolutely slingshotted him towards a showstopper. It's now only 3 ultimate points away from it. It'll be a key piece. The utility, a key ultimate that they can carry forwards into the next round. Sadak, you're holding on to your ultimate like you wouldn't have wanted to be using this. He hears the plan and he's going to be using it to disrupt it. It's going to be scattering them and pushing them back.
I feel like the read was there though, because Taco was the one trying to plant with the rendezvous setup, so he was easily able to escape.
Vacated immediately.
Sadak also did quite a bit of damage to King at the beginning of the round with just a little bit of phantom spam. So the entry player that's been so good in this match so far from Leviatan might be a little more cautious about taking duels. And there's the tour de force, the chamber v chamber battle, going the way of less with a shot through garage.
Well, the garage. Crosshair placement wasn't quite there from Sassy, but King had already taken the prior damage that he was a soft target.
And I feel like so many of these fights are so all over the place for both teams.
Yeah.
Many, many more individual duels on this map than we saw, I would say, in the entirety of Icebox.
It does feel very, very chaotic. Maybe that's telling, I think, towards crowd, the pressure that they're feeling now as we're heading into the playoff stage.
Feels more like watching Leviatan at Copenhagen than it has done watching Leviatan at Champs.
Yeah.
At Champs, their teamwork seems like it's been fantastic. But at Copenhagen, they got that reputation for being the scrappiest team in playoffs. And their games were chaos, but so fun.
Left.
This round, though, purely going to be a save.
And Haven's, so far, been quite pound for pound. Loud versus Leviatan. Just holding, making sure that they don't lose these weapons.
And Les didn't bring a weapon into the round, so just goes with that one. He loses his tour de force anyway.
Yeah, very all over the place. Doesn't seem to be that concrete game plan. Especially with these compositions that you're seeing that either of these sides are running. Very exec heavy.
But not really going for the executes.
No.
More going for playing for picks around the map,
yeah,
honestly.
Trying to pull rotations occasionally, trying to see if they can find easy duels.
Looks like we're going to see Les taking an operator on a walk down through B. Actually not exposing himself to the mid angle.
Angle jump peek! That was from both of them at the same time. I'm pretty sure Adverso wasn't even the target there. He just fell into the line of sight angle.
And Shy's been damaged as well, down to 42 health.
Oh my goodness.
An extremely poor start for the round. And Loud have got so many ults to play with here as well. I was talking about how the defense side is obviously their favorite side, but they normally only average about 6 rounds on Haven on defense. It's currently looking like they've got opportunities.
Oh my.
Well, that could have gone in either direction, but it was a tough shot for Taco to hit.
Microseconds really playing off of that, and King is timing the boom bot. Moves up. Sassy's just not aware that the timing could have been taken. Like a thief in the night.
And Aspats is getting flanked from behind.
Yep. Pinsett from multiple directions now. Has to Satchel play and maneuver his way around, but he is being swarmed and a lot of utility at play. Satchel can go a bit further back than he maybe anticipated, but Les still making the moves. One after the other. It's 3 kills in a round, but is it going to be enough? Brought it to that 2v2.
And are they going to read the double flank here? Frankada and Sadak are in behind. They have tons of flashes to work with, but they won't want to give away their position too early.
Melzer misses the shot. Spots the 2 players though, but Shy is so low. This guy, a young player on the stage, but he has been a demon in the past. Maybe he can delve back into that, but just too low to make it work.
And Loud with the retake. Those 2 players, Bankada and Sadak, holding hands and clearing the site. And that round started extremely poorly for Leviatan. So the fact that they were even able to, make any kind of recovery is somewhat impressive. But look at that, both players jiggle peeking there, jump peeking, and Brent, you made the point earlier. He's trying to react, I think, to Shy, and Adversal comes half a second later, and that's exactly when he reacts to it.
Him the kill. And he got the wall bang.
Shy got wall banged, I think, through Adverso. So that one really not working out as a way of pushing less off an angle.
Pretty brutal series of events, but now you might start to see a bit of a faster play. That's a fault line to set King up. Including a satchel just in case they decide to dump a bit of utility into that A lobby on the defense side. Les is moving forwards here. Will anybody break this one? King claims the kill.
And that is an odd way of peeking that area from Les.
Really strange.
He's inside his rendezvous for sure, but just pre-aiming an angle when King could be so much deeper.
I think he was thrown off because the boombot just wasn't destroyed.
Yeah, very possible. So now there's 3 players stacking here from Loud. And on the other side of the map, Sassy just trying to see if he can spot anyone that might be taking a lurk timing through C or Garage. It feels like Loud are making the right reads on both maps when it comes to their defense stacks. Leviatan going for the re-hits.
Never really falling for the re-hits as well when the noise gets cut like this.
They're going for re-hits much more often than they rotate. And I think Loud have read into that.
Yeah.
The game plan being just hold steady, hold your nerve, wait for the re-hit to come through. I feel like against other teams, Loud would have spread out by now.
And there's a clash that's about to begin. Pancada dodges the fault line, Haunts get destroyed as well. Paranoia, Pancada really is just getting everything chucked at him. Blinded into the corner, but no players from Leviatan are still in the site just yet. They're struggling to really get any sort of foothold into it. Dodging, juking, sidestepping, and now the Nightfall moves forwards, but it's so delayed. And holding the close corner, Pancada puts an end to it.
What an awesome job anchoring there from Pancada. And I've got to give amazing credit to the coaching staff and Sadak and whoever's informing these defense-sided decisions, because they've just got the read every time on where Leviatan is going. Every time. Leviatan are trying to put some pressure on one side of the site, cut noise, go for the re-hit, and Loud do not budge.
No. And credit to Pancada as well. He's being swarmed here. I'm not sure if we're going to see it in this replay. A little bit prior to this, but
I like how he jiggles his movement as well.
Yeah. Sidesteps it for about a moment. You can see Bazooka's just taking it all in. Be an aggressive play though, straight out of Garage. It's going to be the season to the nade. Let's give it a hop over it though. Right, players make sure they're not on the recipient end of this one, and a Horn to try and clear it as well. It's a bit disjointed. Garage control is going to be going away. Leviatan. Going to be breaking the walls and just backing away for the moment. I'm making sure that they still watch this one with a couple of bodies. They don't give away control, especially with this ADS angle. Oh, and Aspas feels like he's cheated out of that one. Surely should have been his time to get a kill, but ends up going down. So
there
was a bit of that player disadvantage, but so far, Leviatan have been in this scenario quite often, I think, in this 5v4. It's how they convert it past this point.
And that's the important part. Coming into this match, they hadn't actually been great at following up on King's entries, at least compared to, you know, Taco's first kills or the way that Aspas frags for Loud, for example. Sometimes when Leviatan are in the 5v4s, they still let it slip away. It's, of course, even worse for them because
30 seconds
got the economical disadvantage. Pancada is under so much pressure once more here.
There's 25 seconds left in this round, and he could be the difference maker again, holding close in the anchored position, but the nade at his feet and the spam. Just in that one sight, like that one angle. Lovely clean movement with the double satchel, and what a shot by Shy. Felt like he barely even saw Les on his screen.
That is a lovely round by Leviatan. I'm not sure Sassy's going to be able to do much about that. The Haunt is nice.
Could have made something of it, potentially.
But
players are weak.
5-5. I said earlier that Loud have been averaging 6 rounds on their defense side. And most of the time that's not good enough for them. Be able to close it out in the second half. I love the way that they punished Sadak and Pancada here. Pancada, again, in a spot where he's so far forwards, getting overwhelmed by tons of utility. And Leviatan were just controlled with the way that they approached the site. They didn't rush it. They waited to see what the response would be from the site anchors, and they just slowly squeezed and applied the pressure.
Really clean stuff. See another play over towards this double door section. Les tries to take the angle. Get the help of the fault line, the stun that was ripping through to try and help him, but
that play gets Adverso's ultimate online. Rolling Thunder now available. And these players are really grouped up in A lobby. I would expect this Rolling Thunder to be designed for A or B. We'll see what the protocol looks like once they hit Aspas and Sassy.
This crossfire can get boomed so easily. Aspas, surely you're not going to be relying on just the satchels, okay?
At any point, though, here, he can just pop the showstopper and try and collapse on the players he thinks
Look at Loud
taking space.
The play's instantly re-clearing down short. Prowler in the hand. I think if this gets contact, you might see a showstopper in play. There it is, catches it. Aspas wants to take the fight. There was a fault line as well to help it, the stun, to see if they can lock down the targets, but it was on King. He used his own satchels to just get the hell out of there, but 40 seconds remaining, and it's pretty obvious at this point where Leviatan are going.
Loud are using their initiator utility very well to put pressure on Leviatan. At the lower... Oh, they dodged it. They dodged the Rolling Thunder, and here comes the showstopper.
Yeah, and no one's clearing this corner. There's none too aware of Aspas, and still river them apart. They'd helping him out. At least the kills do go relatively even in that 2v3, but at this point, where's the spike? Melzer doesn't have the ult. He's just running away to save.
And if Taco loses the op here as well, it could bode very poorly for them heading into the final round of the half. Loud get their 6. But they're looking decent to pick up a fairly heavy lead heading into the half. I mean, at least considering what their normal rate would look like.
Sure.
I love the way that they played this round. The delay with all of the initiator utility, the fact that they were playing up towards A lobby, dropped off, respected Leviatan, had a re-clear of short. The re-clear of short off the back of Sadak's utility was gorgeous. And all of the time that Leviatan burn means that the showstopper's getting more and more value.
Nice stuff.
It's going to be the same game plan again here from Leviatan, but this time to play for the ult orb on Shy. So it was Rolling Thunder online last round, this time Nightfall. And Loud have seen this game plan before, I think.
I've seen it. Les is taking a lot of liberties by playing this aggressively into mid. That's respected though, backs away.
Look, it's the same kind of thing. Aspas and Sassy pushing up aggressively, at least making it look like they're in A lobby with the Prowler. And now Leviatan are going to have to use quite a lot of utility to clear A lobby.
Fight's about to take place, isn't it? Smokes drop down. Respect is being shown. Okay, so the Loud players, Sassy and Aspas, are going to be rotating away, but it's the exact same play. Boombot now to try and re-clear into short.
And not quite the same play. The Boombot broken immediately, and Leviatan, they know what's happening here, so Loud are anticipating that and trying to fight over long instead of short. And this has actually pushed Leviatan away. With 40 seconds left and a Nightfall at their disposal, the B site here, or perhaps a split into C, could be on the cards.
It's a really good macro play. The Leviatan side of things, they pulled a lot of these players away, but close angle from Pancada, and Les just holding it. It's a wallbang shot through the wall, and nobody expects Pancada to be holding close.
There goes the Nightfall.
The rendezvous heard. The ultimate's being expended, but the final round, one after the other. Leviatan just cannot hold a candle to the defensive setup. Loud have just got the right read almost every single time.
And this defensive half has looked extremely good from Loud, especially when you consider that Leviatan were able to come away with that pistol round and the follow-up. You've got to give credit to how Loud have played that.
Yeah.
I think the opening rounds of the half looked very scrappy from both sides, and the game plan was a bit all over. But the deeper we got, the more Loud got to rely on those great protocols and calling.
Yeah, really leaning hard into this one, but we're going to see what our analyst has to say about breaking down his first half of map number 2 so far.
What a massive first half of map 2 for Loud. Not what we were expecting on Leviatan's pick at all, but Loud has been absolutely dominating, don't you think?
Especially when we saw how Leviatan started again. They won the pistol again. They won the anti-eco again. It really started to ramp up. And so it is a surprising result.
So many of the things that we've been priding Leviatan on are still happening here. King, for example, has been looking like an absolute god. He's kept his form for map number 1, but they're still losing so many of these rounds. It feels like Leviatan start out with the right idea, with the players popping off, and Loud just come back in the late round to win.
It does feel like Leviatan is trying to take a lot of the space, and they're sheepish about it because it takes so long. Here's Les with the double there, and you saw the amount of times that Les was getting a lot of value in the rounds, and continues on in the back. They just can't clear him out, and because they're slowly working up these spaces, it's really hard for them to actually completely capitalize on their executes.
Yeah, it has been really, really tough for them. Because again, it feels like they're starting off with the right idea. They get that spike down, they get themselves in the right direction, and Loud again has been really good with these retakes. It's a very similar story to map number 1. I think of those rounds where they're playing that post plant C long as well and just letting things slip away.
So if Leviatan is to come back in this second half, what do they need to do?
I don't know, it feels like it does have to be something around this mental. They're such a good Haven team, but it feels like they're just kind of losing out on a lot of this. You can see it in their faces. They're getting frustrated. They're losing rounds that they really shouldn't be. And you can see the heartbreak. It's palpable for this team. Again, it's exactly what I said after map number 1. They need to come back into things, reset their mental, because they are a great team, and they're great on this map.
Yeah, the pressure is mounting for them, and there's so many players who have to step up. King is already stepping up, but he also has to be the leader for the team. He has to get these guys into the game in order to actually stop this attack side from Loud, because you saw on Icebox they could really capitalize early if there's any sort of mistake.
And Loud is confident. They are already on the right direction. They just have to keep pace to close this.
All right, let's get this second half underway. Let's send it back to Brennan Sideshow.
Thank you very much, guys. Yeah, how is Leviatan going to be getting back into this one? Obviously, the pistol round's going to be helping a significant amount. And King, I mean, it's literally, this guy has been carrying his weight and more, I think, doing the IGLing. And statistically, look at it.
I like that the stats wizard had styled his name like Jing, who did a similar thing. Put the extra G on there. You deserve it, King. He is playing incredibly. Over the course of these first 2 maps, he's been wonderful individually, but I think, to Mimi's point, they need the leader for the rest of the team and to keep the mental on track. These pistol rounds have just been amazing
So
from
much
Leviatan.
faster than anything we've really been expecting. So far an opening. All the way into the A side. That plant is going down without anything to disrupt this one. Takulia is finding that opening onto Sadhak. That's a big kill for them. Not going to have any of that breach utility moving forward. The C's close. Now the Horn has to be dealt with, but no players inside of Leviatan are still in the site just yet. Holding their ground into heaven. Waiting it out.
That is all utility bled out from Loud, though, as well.
That spam is brutal, but King takes the right timing in the angle. Jump peeking through the smoke. Every player is low right now on Leviatan, but how are they going to be able to find these kills? The nade over the top, but less cool, calm, and collected. He knows exactly where to aim the pistol round for Loud.
And what a game changer that one is. Loud have now dealt the first 2 pistol round losses to Leviatan and Champs, and have gone 2-2 in the series so far.
Yeah.
And that is a far cry from what has happened in the group stage for Leviatan. And crucially here, with Leviatan being on the defense side, they have no spike plant money, they can't force. So that dynamic that really shifted Icebox into being, you know, them still comfortably in the lead off the back of a pistol round loss, it's just not at play here.
And the opening, looking at a lot of the star players like Takulia to create that magic, get those first kills. The hands of bullets in his hands, but shut down soon enough.
The Prowler missing King, but nobody wanting to push off the back of it.
That's super cautious.
Garage is a very difficult area of the map to clear against pistols and shorties. Same thing with A short. That's why you see Loud going mostly down long here.
Spectre's being shown, clearing the corners there with a boombot. Nade into the back of sight. Shy was just trying to weave his way into a tight corner, I think, onto short there. But they've already got the sight. He's going to be there. There's nothing to really disrupt this one.
And this post plant for Loud should look clean. And it also puts Loud in firm control of the series if they're able to get this. 9-5 up on their opponent's map pick after winning 6 rounds in a row for a comeback on the first map.
Yeah, I mean, incredible resilience has been showcased, I think, by the Brazilian squad. By Loud, this battle of Brazil versus LATAM, and you know, Loud, it's been the bane of their existence, it feels like, as a team. It's either North America or crew.
And we thought that Leviatan would be potentially added to that list.
They had the signs of it, but Loud have come to play. Plenty of experience under their belt on the global stage.
And even though it's not an elimination game, it definitely feels like, for the fans at home, for the players on the stage as well,
There's so much on the line.
There are real stakes on the line for this one.
Yes.
This is a serious rivalry match. Loud have only ever lost to Optic and Crew. But I think a lot of people were starting to doubt that they were the best team from South America.
Absolutely.
A lot of people were incredibly impressed with the way that Leviatan came out of this group stage. But they are going to be the team under pressure here.
They are the team that's being tested.
They don't have a lead that they can let slip away, so it is a very different story compared to Icebox, but still one that's going to strain their morale and their grit.
High ground angle, somehow the Prowler latches onto him.
Those things have got hops.
It's unbelievable, isn't it? It's just climbing all sorts. I mean, cats are good climbers, so it does make some level of sense, but...
A double push into back garage, into the garage window up top. Adverso has some idea that this could happen. Oh, and the span through.
They've got a read on this one.
Yeah.
It did some decent damage to Aspas.
But if there's any kind of distraction in B, it might open up an avenue for Aspas and Sassy.
Yeah, and that's what they're trying to take the timing. The Prowler onto one of the targets. Now a nade into the back. Adverso just playing inside and out of the smoke, and they have locked this one down. They have the rifles, they have the weaponry. Leicester's trying to take a fight. I mean, it's a ballsy play. Risks across the board. Sassy, let's open up the back of garage. One after the other. 2 kills in the round. Maybe this could be turnable.
Melza previously had a one-way setup on garage. Now he
What?
refreshes it.
The Bulldog ADS. I mean, this guy's just creating magic. The entire team is. And they've regrouped now. Sassy, pretty good idea where the positioning is. Forces out that swing, so Melza's given away the positioning, but King has worked his way around the back. With 20 seconds left in the round, the time pressure a little bit too much.
And Melza being an absolute menace there on the C site, anchoring it down, ready for where that pivot was coming. And with a nasty one-way out on garage that we saw Les try to fight his way through in desperation. Yeah. Sassy does a great job with the Bulldog, and that's certainly damage done on the bonus round.
Really critical round to win, though, as well. Couldn't have let that one slip away.
Yeah, it does allow Leviatan to survive. And they're still going to have a fairly decent buy heading into round 16. Taco, though, is the player without a rifle.
There's going to be pressure on him to try and get some work done. Fast play into garage, though. Prowler's going to be clearing a lot of the close corners, making sure there's no trademark in the corner as well. And a jiggle peek just in case.
And a very different approach. Loud putting emphasis towards garage control, which was not an area that Leviatan were particularly fighting over. And Leviatan's defense has left it open. Now they go for the re-clear. With Melza, with Adverso, just getting that information back. I think that's going to inform King that this is real pressure heading in his direction.
Yeah, with the Bulldog being destroyed as well, yeah, you have to call for reinforcements. It's King and Shy playing together.
Both Fades are actually 1 point away from their Nightfall, which could make a pretty big difference here.
Horn's going to get destroyed, surely the knowledge is there now. Leviatan going to be under a lot of pressure right at the back of this site, but a sweet timing, how do you not get the kill there? Felt like everything was going his way, but Adverso wants to help him out as well. The helping hand, a wider swing again from Aspas. Wins out the fight, gets that trade online, and a nade to stop them from play fast and loose and disrupt this one. At least a paranoia. It's going to be swinging through. It's create an opening now for the players to get back in, but it's just down to Melza. In a 1v2, Sassy has confidence enough to swing through the smoke.
That's a crazy aggressive post plant for Loud. Sassy got the spike down and had his Nightfall online, and I thought they would drop back and just use that to confirm the post plant, and instead, Aspas, feeling the hot hand, just decides to fight at CT.
Yeah.
And I think post plants like that, moves like that, indicate a confidence difference between these two teams right now.
Sure.
I mean, Loud are just feeling it. Aspas swinging out, finding that pick, trading out Adverso, who had already killed 2 of his teammates, and continues to fight over CT spawn. And Loud, they're up 4 rounds, and you can read it in terms of the body language there with the coaches. One team is now in control of this match, and it is not the team that was 12-6 up on the first.
Ridiculous turn of events here. Leviatan taking their first timeout now. Their first timeout of this map. They had one available in the first half, chose not to use it early. I think this is going to be shining some light, honestly, as well onto Owner. Put a lot of respect on his name in terms of being able to take really good critical timeouts, making sure that he disrupted the enemy's game plan a lot of the time.
But where
so
were
far, I mean, it was too late on Icebox. Way too late on Icebox.
And I think it feels like too late now. The first timeout being called in round 17. The first time that they've been able to have their coach's input. It is very late in the game for something like that. Especially when Leviatan are going into an eco round, which should put Loud up at 11-6.
Not much room for maneuvering. Not much room for maneuvering at all for the series. Loud winning map number 1, leading on Haven. Another map, it wasn't their map pick. One's going to be getting a lot of that early information now, so Taco holding it with a headhunter. If he could get a kill, it would be elite, but instead it's him that pays the price. Head ripped off. Prowler latched onto a target as well, making sure that that site is fully vacated. Loud have complete control of it once more. Look at the parity smokes as well. Just a one-way in Heaven controlled. They do know where this is being planted though. Pings. Spam just going wide and the smoke dissipates at just the wrong time.
Loud looking comfortable here, holding on. Verso is going to be able to get his ultimate online with a death. But that's basically the only silver lining to this.
Just the Sheriffs, I think.
Otherwise, Loud are coming into this. Round 18. With tools to work with.
I mean, they're looking so good.
Big ults online, confidence flowing, and Aspas playing like a demon.
Losing no weapons. Securing that prime game in Flawless, keeping it all going into the next round there. Loud, one step away from match point.
And I just want to point out how unexpected this is to me. Having watched Loud play Haven before, haven't ever been particularly impressed with it. It's one of their weakest maps, they ban it frequently. You look at Leviatan's record on this map. Out of the 5 teams at Champions that they've played on Haven before this year, they've beaten 4 of them.
Yeah.
80% win rate against the Champs teams. For Loud, they've never beaten a team that's at that kind of level on Haven. This is an astounding turnaround of expectations. And Leviatan need this round so desperately to stop Loud from getting to match point.
This is the backbreaker. Haunt onto the corner, and the jump peek from Melt is punished.
How on earth
Melter
did
was
Les
just
hit that?
crouch peeking that, and it was pre-fired. An absurd shot to hit, and it's cracked the site wide open. There is an attempt, though, to disrupt. Rolling Thunder into the showstopper, it's got to be everything. You can see a cacophony of utility exchange on either side, even another flash just to push them back. But sound cues have been removed, and Shy, with the confidence there to take the fight regardless. Still the spike showing no signs of actually being planted, but now finally, a bit of a break in the gameplay. They feel like they possibly can, and Shy, again, he goes down. Clear from behind, Tour de Force. He nails the first shot, but he doesn't quite get the second. Elite spacing from the Loud players, and a double face. The positioning in the post plan is just sublime. And that, I mean, that's just going to do it for them, Josh.
It certainly feels like it, Brent. Loud winning such a pivotal round. Leviatan burning their second timeout in back-to-back rounds. What is that?
It's too late.
It certainly feels like it. Too little, too late there. Loud have just been in control of this one since about round 10, I would say, Brent.
Yeah.
Round 10 and then winning the pistol on round 13. Maybe round 11, 12, 13, that kind of period just got the wind into Loud sails. And I really feel like one of the big differences too has just been that Shy has not been able to get into this game. It's only really been King on this map. He's 20 and 13 after dropping 26 on map 1. But it always, in the group stage, felt like a huge team effort from Leviatan. And to me, Shy was the biggest addition there. Because he was the new player, because he was getting a third of his team's trades. Shy, to me, was making the difference. The Rhino just stampeded over the group stage players. And now it feels like Loud have brought out the tranquilizer darts. Heading into this round, Loud on match point with Sadak's Rolling Thunder to play around. and all the confidence in the world. Much better buys. This would have to be the same comeback that Loud performed on Icebox, another 6 rounds into OT. Does Leviatan have it?
Do they have it in them? That kind of confidence. Loud are able to do it, but they've been to many international events at this point. They've got the experience.
They know what it is to win. They know what it is to lose.
The showstopper up close and personal. King is rewarded with a kill. It's a good opener for them. A lot of damage being done to Sassy as well. Brings him down to 23 health. But it's going to take many more of those big, heroic moments. Jump peek, almost getting punished.
King also only has a Guardian now that the showstopper's out of his hands. He's a great player. I'd love to see him being given, you know, the Bulldog in this kind of situation, but that's the case. That's what they're working with. His defensive stack is in the right place again. Feels like watching one of the Loud round defenses.
Yeah.
They've got the right read.
Leviatan do have the right read. Prowler down, sent into short. That's going to be connecting onto a target. They know that there's some presence there on the defense, but how do they deal with this now?
King dodged the fault line.
The C's as well as connecting. It's all down to these players. You have to find the crossfire. You have to find the shots. And they're crumbling. Mel's are the last player standing. And just like that, sticks to teleport. He's going to try and make a play. But a 1v3, it's nigh impossible. And Loud on the cusp now. Attempt is going to be made here as Melzer is just trying to bait out the position, but even him, it feels like the confidence just was not there.